Sup? This is the third episode of Words of Wisdom, WOW for short. In this week's episode, I'm going to tell you how to stop smoking for less than $21 in 21 days. It's been 5 years today since I stopped smoking cold turkey with not even a puff of a cigarette since my last one, and I'm excited to teach you in this video how you too can live a life cigarette free. Since the subject matter is pretty self-explanatory, there's no need for me to go over it briefly, but I will use 3 of the W's to ask you, the viewers, some questions, as there are some things you need to understand about yourself before you break the habit. What kind of smoker are you? For the purpose of this video, I'm going to break smokers up into 3 categories: social, conditioned, and chain. If you're a social smoker, you probably rarely, if ever, buy packs and only really smoke in social situations. You're not really addicted and don't really feel the need to smoke. If you're a conditioned smoker, you either smoke when you feel a certain way emotionally and/or you associate smoking with certain times or events. This was the type of smoker I was, and although the information in this video can benefit any type of smoker, it is primarily designed for those who are conditioned smokers. If you're a chain smoker, you're the type that always has a cigarette in their mouth, regardless of how you're feeling or what's happening. Literally sometimes lighting up the next one with the previous one. When do you smoke? This is a question for the conditioned smoker. In order to quit, you really have to know what your emotional and event triggers are, and I advise you to take note and write them down. You smoke when you're happy, sad, frustrated, anxious, after a meal, when you get stuck in traffic, after sex, every 45 minutes. Be as detailed as possible with each and every craving for a cigarette, whatever they are. Why do you want to stop smoking? I ask this because in order to stop, you have to really want to stop for yourself. If you're stopping to please your significant other, your parents, your siblings, your friends, your co-workers, etc., you may be successful at first, but will eventually come back to it. There's a saying that no one ever really quits, and a smoker is a smoker when the chips are down. So if you're not truly done with the cigarettes for yourself, you will eventually return to them in the future. Me, if I was a Greek singer, my name would be Ray Charles. So now that you've identified what kind of smoker you are, when you smoke, and why you want to stop smoking, now we can move on to how to stop smoking. And all you need is an unlit cigarette and cinnamon gum. It takes 21 days to make or break a habit, so you'll need to consider that when you're ready to stop. Pick a day in the near future and tell yourself that this is it. No more smoking afterwards. And as you're about to go to bed the night before, enjoy your last cigarette. Day 1 to 5. When you wake up and have your first craving, take the unlit cigarette and without lighting it, put it in your mouth and smoke it as if it were lit, like this. What you'll notice is that this will weirdly fulfill your craving. This is because a huge part of the addiction is having the cigarette in your hand, putting it in your mouth, inhaling and exhaling, regardless of whether or not there's actually any smoke coming from the cigarette. You may feel tempted to light the cigarette or feel silly doing it, but trust me, this will help you break the habit. The first 5 days are the hardest as your body will crave the nicotine, so you may feel aggressive and restless, but stick through with this plan, it gets easier very quickly. Day 5 to 14. Now slowly start implementing the cinnamon gum instead of the unlit cigarette by chewing a piece whenever you get a craving. If you still feel the need to hold something in your hand while you're chewing the gum, you can use a pen, a cinnamon stick, or any other cylindrical object you fancy. Every day try to eliminate the need to fulfill one craving by allowing it to pass without using the unlit cigarette or the cinnamon gum. Day 14 to 21. By now you should be completely off the unlit cigarette and only using the gum to fight your cravings. Continuously eliminate as much cravings as you can every day by not answering to them with the cinnamon gum. Your mind has already started changing, and before you know it, none of your previous triggers will make you want to have a cigarette. If you've made it to day 21, congratulations, you've officially broken the habit. Now it is very important that you don't cheat or even have a puff of a cigarette at this point. The first time I stopped smoking, I was good for 3 months, and it only took 1 cigarette after a drunken argument with some friends, and I was back to a pack and a half a day like it was nothing. Avoid alcohol the first 21 days, especially if it's a trigger for you, as alcohol lowers your inhibitions and will easily lead to lighting up a cigarette, destroying any progress you have made instantly. Also keep in mind that even far down the road, although it may only be slight, it is possible to get cravings under any familiar circumstances that you failed to address while in the stopping process. For example, even though I haven't touched cigarettes in 5 years and don't think about them ever, while I was DJing this weekend, I asked a staff member for a cigarette to use as a prop for this video, and upon receiving it, because asking for a cigarette while DJing was something I used to do as a smoker, I was surprised that for a few moments, I got a very faint urge to light it up and smoke it. I'm so far away from smoking that it was easily dismissed, but just know that it can happen to you, and if you're not careful, you'll get sucked back into it. Give a man an inch and he'll take a mile, but give a woman an inch and she'll tell you your dick is too small. I hope you found this video useful, and I would be thrilled to hear from those who try my method and successfully break the habit. Also, if you know someone who would find this video helpful, feel free to share with them, because sharing is caring. I'll be posting episode 4 next week. I post a new episode every Wednesday, and in the meantime, you can email me at tc@troycarter.com if you have something you want me to talk about, as well as subscribe to my YouTube channel so you'll be the first to know when I post something new. Peace.